Hi, it's August 13th, 2020, and it's already rainy season here in the Philippines, so it's not that hot, which is great. I want to know, what season is your country currently in, and how do you enjoy it? For me, I'd love to wait for the afternoon because it usually rains, and I'd make a cup of coffee. Anyway, the topic that we have today is expressing numbers in spoken English. Before we go through the lesson, I want to discuss first the cardinal and ordinal numbers. Now, what's the difference between the two? When I say cardinal numbers, I mean to say the count numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, while ordinal numbers are those that we use when we are talking about position of something. For example, first, second, third, fourth, fifth. First is telling the date. How did I say the date before? It's August 13th, 2020. I didn't say August 13th, 2020. I said 13th. Now, what's happening here? When we are saying dates, we have to use the ordinal number and not the cardinal number. So let's say this is August 14th, 2020 or 14th of August, 2020. Now let's focus on the year. I said 2020. I didn't say 2020 because there's a rule in English that you have to make the first and second number as one and the third and the fourth as another number. Let's say instead of saying 2020, I said 20 and 20. So the year is 2020. Try to read this. It's 1927. If a year has two zeros, then read the first two as one number, then add the word 100. Let's say this is 1900. This is, yes, it's 1500. If a year has three zeros, then just add the word 1000. Let's say this is 2000 and this is, yes, it's 2006 or 2006. This year will now be read as 2013, 2013, or 2013. In this case, you can just omit the word and just say 2013, or earlier I just said 2006. We're done with the dates. Now let's talk about numbers with decimal point. How should we read this? It's 8.68. First things first, we have to read that decimal point as point and not full stop, period, or dot. Notice that I said 68 and not 68. It's because after the decimal point, you have to read each number. What if we have a number like this? Do we say 27.25 or 27.25? It's the first one since the number before the decimal point is a whole number. Next, do we say 20.66666 until we get tired? Just say 20.6, then add the word recurring. Again, it's 20.6 recurring. Next are fractions. Remember the difference between cardinal and ordinal numbers? Well, we'll have to use the cardinal number for numerator and we have to use the ordinal number for denominator. Try to read this. It's 2/16. Again, 2/16. Notice that I used the cardinal number for numerator. I didn't say second. Now for the denominator, I said 16ths. I added an s because the numerator is more than 1. So it's the ordinal 16th, then add the letter s. This rule is not applicable for all fractions as what you've guessed. Let's say you have to say this. It's 1/4, but you can also say a quarter or 1/4. But this is not 1 second, it's 1/2 or just simply a half. Try to read these fractions. The first is 1/3, while the second one is 2/3. Let's try inserting a whole number. Now try to read this. It's 6 3/4. Next, it's 32 1/8. Whew, that's tough. Now let's move on to less complicated ones. How should we say a percentage like this? It's simple, just add the word percent after the number. So this is just 80%. What if there is a decimal point in the percentage like this? It's simple, just say 80.5%. Let's take that into the next level. How about this? It's 80.25%. We all need this one. What if you have to give your telephone number to someone? How should you say it? It's simple, just read all the numbers as individual numbers. Let's say it's 1854265. But if there's 0 between two digits, don't say 0, instead say O. Let's say this is 1854205. Easy, right? By the way, if you're new to this channel and you like my video, please don't forget to subscribe. How should I tell my height to someone? It's 5 feet 2 inches. The apostrophe like after the first number is read as feet, and the second one, which looks like a double quotation mark, is read as inches. So it's 5 feet 2 inches. Of course, we won't forget the weight. You might be using pounds or kilograms in your country. It doesn't matter. Just read the number as cardinal, then say kilograms or pounds after. Next is another thing we all need since it's part of everyday life. How should we say how much something is? Try to read this. It's $2.50 or $2.50. In our currency, it's 2 pesos and 50 cents. This is $70.99. Notice that I said 99 and not 99 since we're talking about money here. So you can simply say 70.99 if it's clear between you and the person you're talking with that you're referring to money. The last one is telling temperature. This is actually not so important for Filipinos since it's always hot in the Philippines. Yeah, the temperature changes every now and then, but that's just because of different intensity of hotness. This sign can be read as either negative or minus, but I prefer saying negative since I feel more comfortable with it. Don't worry about that, both of them are correct. Try to read these. The first one is 5 degrees Celsius or Celsius. The second one is negative or minus 5 degrees Celsius or Celsius. Oh, that's a lot. This word can be read as Celsius or Celsius depending on you. And another thing, if you'd notice, I added an S at the end of the word degree since the number is more than 1. Meaning, if the temperature is this, then simply say 1 degree Celsius without S at the end of degree. Honestly, if it's clear in the context that you're talking about temperature, you don't have to say Celsius or Fahrenheit. Simply say -5 degrees or 5 degrees. And that's it about expressing numbers in spoken English. Actually, I left one lesson, which is telling time. Well, I decided to discuss that separately since it would be lengthy, so please expect that there would be a video about that. Thanks for watching. If you find this video helpful, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Dream and make your dream happen. I'll see you on my next video. Bye!